How you doing? This is Sam Tolley. You know, I want to put my 2 cents in on this Jussie Smollett thing. What's interesting about this, to me, is not the fact that this person got busted lying on conservatives or Trump supporters. That happens all the time. What's interesting is the fact that he pissed off everybody. You know, conservatives, liberals, everybody. He made a fool out of the media. He exposed the media's foolishness by just swallowing the stuff that he's been spilling out. You know, the media, by and large, in my opinion, has been the propaganda hand of the Democratic Party for years. You know, there's a photo from Right Side News of this black kid on this lunch counter. And I think it looks like a photo possibly from the 50s. But then, the way the media twists everything, they got all these MAGA hat wearers as being Republicans or conservatives. And of course, the little black kid, or the young black man rather, as the Democrat. And anyone that paid attention to history knows full well that the Jim Crow South was run by Democrats. That those people that were trying to sit at lunch counters were not Democrats by and large. Or at least they were not trying to cooperate with the Democrats, an institution of Jim Crow. The Democrats were the party of the KKK. They were the party of segregation, of slavery in fact. But the mindset that they would have you to believe is that it was the reverse. And I grew up like many black people thinking that it was the reverse. Until I started looking at history, I started examining the evidence, and I started thinking for myself. Once I started thinking for myself and not going along with the common mantra of what everybody else was doing because everybody else was doing it, I started finding out a lot of information. It's like when I went to the first Tea Party rally I went to. There were white people, black people, brown people, Asian people. There were all kinds of people. They were friendly. They were considerate. But they were protesting too much taxes. Well, when you see it on the media, or many people that I knew, they were saying that same old tired that these are racists, hate black people, you know, conservative, Republicans, just, you know, don't want to take care of the poor, all this stuff. And you know, I find it fascinating that liberals always play this game, or shall we say leftists, that Republicans and conservatives hate the poor, they hate the blacks. But by and large, we are for life. Whereas the Democratic Party and all their platforms stand for death. And now they're even trying to do infanticide. So it begs the question, if you care about black people, why are you pushing their death in and out of the womb? Or what sense does it make for people who supposedly hate them to want to let them live? It makes no sense unless you go along with their twisted logic. And by the way, I worked for many people that were supposed to be racist, and I believe some of them were. But we got along fine. They didn't bother me. You know why? I brought value to the business. They kept me because I made them money. I stayed there because I got paid money. I didn't go to bed with those folks at night. They went to their home, I went to mine. We had mutual respect because of this. So if it came down to somebody liking me or not liking me, I don't care. If we're working and there's money involved, money will dictate the attitude. But we're not talking about jobs and money. We're talking about this racist thing that everybody says, that the liberal media, that the celebrities and all these folks are so quick to blame on MAGA hat wearing people, whether they're white or black, because they perpetuate these stereotypes, and unfortunately many of us do not take the time to study and learn exactly what's going on. So I'm going to run through a few of these incidences. I'm sure you've all heard about the Smollett thing. I'm not going to talk about that. The only thing unusual about that is because everybody knows it. That's what's unusual. But there's many of these things that's happening all the time that people don't know about. I'm going to show you a few. But first, let me read, and by the way, I want to credit Andy New with compiling this stuff. And this is just a small list of the things he compiled. He's done a great job of exposing the hypocrisy. First, I want to start off with a tweet from the NAACP. He said, the recent racist and homophobic attack on acclaimed actor and activist Jussie Smollett is troubling. The rise in hate crimes is directly linked to President Donald J. Trump's racist and xenophobic rhetoric. At Derek NAACP. Is that true? You know, black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in history. Hispanic unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in history. Women unemployment is the lowest it's ever been in history. All under Donald J. Trump. If he's a racist, if he hates minority, keep up the good work, because black folks is making money. Folks that were staying home or couldn't get a job are getting a job. I mean, it's nonsensical. The logic is ridiculous. If he's all that bad, why are we doing all that good? Let's move on. First incident. Right after Donald Trump's election, the Southern Poverty Law Center really stoked panic. A pro-gay Episcopal church in Indiana was vandalized with Heil Trump, a swastika, and an anti-gay slur. You know what? Turns out that the church organ player did it. Ain't that something? So this guy makes this big thing. He writes Heil Trump, stirs up this animus, and the joker goes to that church. Wow. Here's another one. 1 week before the presidential election, a black church in Mississippi was burned in an arson attack. Vote Trump was written on the building. After much panic, an investigation revealed that the man responsible was a church member, Andrew McClinton, a black guy. Now, why would he do that? Why would he set fire to his own church and write Vote Trump? Because folks want to perpetuate the stereotype. If you can't find it, make it up. Do anything to create more hate. November 2016, Chicago. Taylor Volk, a bisexual student at North Park University, said she received hateful, pro-Trump, anti-gay messages. This is a this is a countrywide epidemic. All of a sudden, she said at the time, the investigation found that she fabricated the story. Isn't it amazing? Trump is so evil that he's got a whole bunch of good people doing bad stuff to expose how evil he is. One day after 2016 election, Elisha Long, a student at BGSU, I'm sorry, I don't know what college that is, in Ohio, said that white males wearing Trump shirts threw rocks at her and hurled racial slurs. Alleged incident sparked rage on campus, and university hosted a town hall. She made it up. It never happened. In November 2016, a Philadelphia neighborhood was rattled when property was vandalized by pro-Trump and anti-black messages. William Tucker, a black man, was identified as the vandal. In December 2016, a Muslim woman said she was attacked by 3 white Trump supporters in New York City on a subway. She said they tried to rip off her hijab. Yasmin Sui lied, CARE said. Muslims are under tremendous stress and pressure, resulting in incidents like this. Muslims are under tremendous stress and pressure, so they're going to lie on people? I guess that's what was happening with these black folks and this gay student and that gay organ player at the church. They're under so much pressure that they got to lie on folks, especially MAGA hat wearing people. November 2017, near Kansas State University, a black man's car was vandalized with racist messages. Class was canceled and students held demonstrations. Dontarius Williams later admitted to police that he did it himself. What I don't like about this one, it says police did not charge him. They should have. They should have. After the election, a banner in a East Side area sparked furor. It read, "You can hang a nigga from a tree. Equal rights he'll never see." People feared this was now, Trump's America. The man who put up the sign as black and did it to protest court system. University of Michigan student Haley Bass told police a Trump supporter attacked her by scratching her face in November 2016. She said she was targeted for wearing a pin in support of UK Remain. As her story fell apart, she admitted to scratching herself. I really like this one. On election night, Canadian Chris Ball, said he was beaten by anti-gay Trump supporters in Santa Monica. His friend shared a photo on social media. Now it says, "Notice his immaculate watch." Police said he never filed a report. And he didn't go to any hospitals in the area. Now when you look at this picture, this dude looks like he's all jacked up. and he didn't file a report or seek medical attention? See, we deal with this mess all the time. You know, in the movie Platoon, there's this character named Junior. And he had an infamous line.
Free your mind, your ass will follow.
That's right. Free your mind, and the rest of you will follow. And that's what folks need to do. Instead of just going along with the circus, going along with what the media tells you, going along with these politicians and these pundits and these so-called celebrities say. I mean, think about it. Why on earth would people put themselves in a position to be criticized? I'm talking about people like me, to sit up here and listen to folks say that we're crazy, or that we're Uncle Toms, or we're stupid, when we know what the heck is going on. The only reason why we put ourselves in a position to be criticized is because we want to help people wake up and see what's happening. Understand what's going on. If this was President Obama's economy, everybody would be saying, they would be making more songs. You remember when he was elected and all the little kids were singing all these songs?
We're gonna spread happiness. We're gonna spread freedom. Obama's gonna change it. Obama's gonna lead 'em. We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world.
When they did gave him the Nobel Peace Prize based on potential. But see, we have a president he's gruff, he's always been that way. When he was acceptable, he was the same guy that black folks loved before he became a Republican. Yeah, he used to be pro-life, I mean pro-choice. And I'm not against anyone that changes. But now he's trying to stand up for the unborn. And he's doing what he needs to do to help Americans. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with make America great again. But when you put this stuff in people's head, and these people start thinking, well, he's evil, and folks that wear the MAGA hats are evil, and all this stuff is evil, but they have nothing to substantiate it with. Except for the fire that's being fueled by these different people. And have you seen what happened to people that are just wearing their hat and minding their own business? Look at some of this stuff.
What's wrong with my hat? What's wrong with my hat? It's my thing.
This dude is following this dude around Starbucks because he got on a Trump hat.
Supporting the president. You ain't supporting shit, bitch ass mother.
And this guy's now been arrested, and he has quite a little rap sheet. He's got a past arrest for DWI, marijuana, burglary, so he's not a good guy, and he's been fired from his job.
Now, we deal with people that we don't agree with all the time. But we don't assault them. We don't insult them. We don't try to embarrass them. We don't try to disrupt their meals. We try to reason with them. We try to help them see what we see. We try to help them understand that all we want is for actually to be left alone. Leave us alone. Leave our children alone. Don't feed us all this nonsense. Don't try to take all our money. And don't try to convert us to walk away from our belief systems. And let us vote for who we want to vote for. And you vote for who you want to vote for. But when you try to silence us, when you try to tell us that we are evil, that we don't know what we're doing, but you can't justify it, and then we have to deal with all this kind of nonsense, we're not going to deal with it. We're going to expose it. We're going to lay it out there. Hopefully people will understand and grow up. And like I said, even if he was a racist, which I don't see it at all, he's doing a poor job of it. Because we have more employment now than ever. The country's making more money than ever. If we can reduce some of this debt, we will be better off. But we're certainly better off now than we were 2 years ago. And America is getting great, and hopefully it'll get greater. And hopefully the American people will start focusing on just doing what's best for the country, instead of this division and listening to people that keep coming out with nonsense. I mean, that Smollett thing was nonsense. All the stuff I talked about was nonsense, and there was many more. And it's unnecessary. So, free your mind, and the rest of you will follow. This is Sam Tolley, and I'm out.